All right. Mission accomplished. Number 8. I think I got that right. Number 8.
Yes, sir.
Yes. And I am the host on camera. And there's another voice behind the scenes, Ryan.
Hola.
And we're here to talk about all the popular stuff that we want to talk about and do whatever we want because this is America and we're free. And I can do and say whatever I need to, whenever I need to. How you doing, Ryan?
Doing good.
All right.
I got an iPad 3 weeks ago.
Okay.
PUBG on the iPad.
Good.
Pretty good. Yeah.
I just downloaded Fortnite on my phone, but I also downloaded it on my computer, right? And I played last week on it.
Play both at the same time?
No. I think everything's on different servers, right? Like you can't play PlayStation people if you're on the computer. Is that true?
Maybe. I don't know.
It's hard to say, right?
Yeah, because I hear that if you are like Epic Games friends, because Epic has their own thing, you can play computer to PS4. I don't know about that. I've never done it.
Yeah. Last week on my show, I played Fortnite Live, and it was basically the first time I ever played the game. And then since then, I've kind of tooled around with it. And we'll open up talking about Fortnite because it's huge. It was recently mentioned on my favorite podcast, The Joe Rogan Experience, and he wants to host now a video game thing. Like he used to be a LAN player, like I used to be a LAN player, and a LAN party, you know, is when the internet wasn't so big and people would get together and play all computer or video games in one room. Super fun. And he's going to do it on his show, and he wants to get it. I think they're going to do Twitch stuff on his show with his like sound guy and stuff.
Jamie actually already does like Twitch stuff.
Right. And I know Red Band, the old co-host, he's like big into Twitch and stuff too. Yeah. Or at least because he had Red Band on recently, and it sounded like he was alluding to the fact that he's on it all the time. But that shit's getting huge. Like the Twitch and the video game streaming, and they talk about it on his podcast too. Like this is serious shit. Like you got Overwatch has leagues per state now. Like you got state, like, you know, Boston Outlaws and the Florida whatever. And they have brackets and seasons now, and all these players getting sponsorships, and you can just make like a regular paying job playing these games now. It's crazy. And then out west, you have Blizzard, who makes like World of Warcraft and Overwatch and stuff. They have like this arena over there that's constantly packed with people. And like the whole gaming scene is crazy now, because I bet parents are starting to think to themselves like, oh, well, maybe we should encourage our kid to play games, low overhead, high return.
Yeah, man. I mean, I always told my parents one day I could be a fucking successful video game player for life.
That's what our generation grew up saying. Is we were like one decade too early because they weren't polished enough to be taken seriously. Like our games, like, you know, GoldenEye, the fucking graphics in GoldenEye suck. Like they're just shit. But now everything is like really intense, and like the skill level caps are way higher, and like it's way more like important and like intricate, I guess. But do you play Fortnite a lot?
On the PS4, I do.
Oh, really? Okay.
No,
so do you play solo, duo, or teams?
I play both. It depends on, one, the challenges that I have, two, if I have any friends online, and three, if I get fed up with when I like solo queue into squads, I get fed up with my fucking teammates. Like I can't do it.
I can't do it. Just not a thing.
The cool thing about Fortnite though is they're always doing like updates with like special game modes, and the recent one, have you seen this?
Yes, Thanos.
Yeah,
for the Avengers. Fucking
I just started
awesome.
watching my first couple of like Avenger movies and stuff like that.
Oh, you haven't seen them before?
Okay, so I had seen like obviously I saw like the old school Spider-Man and all those movies, right?
Right.
I saw Iron Man 1 when I moved out here a year ago.
Okay.
And I saw also when I moved out here a year ago, I saw the very first of the new like Marvel movies I saw was Guardians of the Galaxy Volume 2.
Wow.
It came out in theaters.
Dude, so you have like a whole library of shit to catch up on.
Yeah.
That's very fortunate because that's good stuff.
Yeah. And I watched Guardians on the plane on my way here.
Okay.
Back from Arizona. And what else did I watch? I started watching Civil War.
Okay.
But I think I have to watch another movie before that.
Yeah, there's a bunch.
Two movies, actually,
yeah,
right?
like the Captain America movies. I think you have to watch.
Well, I mean, I'm just talking about Avengers specifically. There's Avengers, then there's another one before Civil War, then there's Civil War.
Yeah.
And then I got to go watch Infinity War.
Right, and the Age of Ultron is the other one.
Yes, Age of Ultron.
Yeah.
That's the one. Yeah.
So those are great. Wow, I can't believe you haven't seen those. Those are such a like. I mean, it's hard to say that they're good because they're obviously good movies, but they're just so fun to watch. Like, you know, I don't know. I like that whole canon, like the characters and everything, and seeing them in live action has always been dope. Like, it's just so cool. And the Thanos in Fortnite, how fucking genius of a move is that for a business decision on a free video game? Like how, like, what a great execution. Like, whoever thought of that in a meeting fucking nailed it.
Yeah, for sure.
Have you played the Thanos thing? Is it cool?
Yeah, I played one round. Thanos destroyed me.
So you can't be Thanos, or you can get the Infinity Gauntlet and have his powers.
Yeah, so basically it drops, right?
Right.
Like, as you're getting to the ground, it drops on the ground, and then you pick it up. And you become Thanos, and you lose. Well, I don't know if you lose all your items. Yeah, I'm pretty sure you do because like you don't drop anything, and then you can't drop the gauntlet.
Oh.
But you get the gauntlet, you become Thanos. You get rocketed up into the sky, and then you come back down as Thanos. And you can jump around and fucking use this like laser beam thing and like a ground punch thing. You can punch through walls and buildings.
Nice.
Destroy shit.
That's the cool thing about the game is like everything is destroyable. But you know, and I wanted like I was thinking about okay, how would you go about getting good at this game? And I'd imagine it would be mastering solo queue essentially, like just putting hundreds of hours into solo queue and trying to rack up wins, basically, you know. But I'm thinking like
yeah, for sure. That's how you have to do it.
Right. And like so now you compare it to other first person shooters or other shooter type and strategy games. It's weird because like the dynamic of a FFA last man standing wins, like the overall strategy for that, I don't know. I would like, you know, you can figure out if you have four versus four, there's like certain strategies based on maps in certain games. And like this battle royale scenario is now coming up like in recent years more and more often. And I'm interested to like, I wonder if there's, you know, United States military tactics for situations like that. You know, like books written on just like broad, you know, like Art of War style, broad descriptions. Oh, how do you deal if like the other person is high ground, or how do you deal if
enemy is in the circle? Then
or if you have multiple enemies all fighting each other, exactly the last man standing scenario. Like, how do you strategize then? Do you wait for everyone to kill each other off and then try to execute?
That's what I do. On PUBG Mobile on my iPad, which is totally cheating because everyone's playing on their phone and I can see way better than them. I've literally won more games in that game than I've ever won in Fortnite or PUBG for the computer.
Right.
But yeah, I'll like at the very end, I'll like basically crawl to the circle and like I'll wait.
And that's the purpose, right? Isn't it the higher you get, like the longer you survive, the better you're doing, essentially.
Yeah, and
so the main strategy,
the people who survived are also good.
Right.
Well, sometimes. I've won my first game on PUBG Mobile. Right, my first game ever. I'm sitting there playing it, and I won. And I was like, no way. And then I won like 4 more, and I was like, okay, these people are fucking terrible.
Right? You're like, what the fuck is going on? Yeah. It is. It's hard though. Like the game is like, so you have to, and like what I don't like is you can't practice. Like I can't practice the building without being in a game. And on the one hand, like I don't want to mess up my stats by being, I wish there was like a practice mode. You know what I mean?
Yeah, like, me and my buddy were talking about that. We were talking about how like, okay, why is it that we don't have a mode, right, where we can like just play with the guns and like a deathmatch mode and actually PUBG Mobile has something like that. It's called arcade mode, and you drop into a very small circle. They limit the weapon types, so sometimes it's like pistols and snipers, sometimes it's shotguns. My first arcade match that I won was melee weapons only. So I ran around hitting people with pans, and that was fun.
That's awesome.
I really enjoyed that.
Yeah.
But yeah, I mean,
Yeah. So that's the game that's on fire right now.
Yeah,
like that's
those types of games.
Yeah, exactly. Those types of games are doing real. And before it was the MOBA style games, and I kind of compare the two. So now that I tried playing it more over the course of the week to like see, okay, what's it really take to get good at this game? And like, what do you really have to learn? And you basically have to learn all the weapons. You have to learn how to use them quickly. You have to learn the build mechanics, and then you learn the map and kind of like hiding and stuff. And then, like, I compared that to, like, Dota and League of Legends, where it's similar. You learn the items, you learn the map, and then you get the basic idea of, like, how each match flows, and then you kind of go from there and just, like, pour hours into it. And then they recently came out with the new God of War game, which is also killing it, right? That got, like, crazy good reviews.
I heard that it's really good.
Yeah. I love those games.
Yeah, I haven't seen it, unfortunately.
Yeah, I watched videos of the graphics and stuff. Fucking unreal. Like, so good. Like, the gameplay graphics are just off the charts. It's nuts. Okay, in the real news, in, like, the real world, the whole Iran nuclear deal fell apart. And I'm fascinated by nuclear power in general. Like, I have been for a couple years now. And I don't know, I guess the deal was shit. I don't know enough about it to really say. I guess Iran are bad people in general. They're trying to they're trying to set off nukes, and we made a deal that kind of stopped it for a while, but it was kind of a shitty deal. So now Trump took it away. And from what I see in the red versus blue news, the blues are kind of just like, all right, well, it was a good deal. You should have kept it. And, or, they don't. Oh wait, no, that was the other. Yeah, they basically think that we should have kept it, and the Reds are like, oh yeah, it was a shitty deal. Fuck those people. Either way, it got me looking into nuclear power plants and stuff like that, because I know that whole Iran nuclear deal is tied to their power plant situation, getting your enriched uranium and then putting it into missiles and lobbing them over Israel, and that's the whole big problem there. So I just offhandedly wanted to look up. I forgot where our nuclear power plants were mostly located in the United States. I looked it up. There's one in fucking Port St. Lucie. Did you know that? On Hutchinson Island?
No, that's a huge old thing.
That's super cool. Like, I mean, it's definitely interesting living very close to a nuclear power plant.
To a nuke.
nuke. Just a nuclear power plant. And I'm sure they do uranium enrichment there and stuff, because that's generally how it goes. But in my research, I found that there's actually this super cool thing called thorium reactors, which are molten salt reactors. And they have fail-safe systems. They produce more power. They're like, uranium enrichment power plants are just super, super inefficient. They're old school technology. It's old school technology that actually happened to compete with molten salt reactors when they were first invented and tested. But because of budgeting restrictions and things like, and politics, the whole of the world essentially stuck with uranium enrichment and liquid cooled reactors, which are very dangerous and prone to weather stuff like Fukushima and things like that. And now the Chinese actually are looking into going backward, well, not backwards, but moving into the future and making these things called thorium reactors, which produce massive amounts of energy safely, and then the nuclear byproduct of burning that fuel is actually medical grade radiation that's used to treat cancer. So there's like really serious technologies behind nuclear and nuclear power, and the breaking down of the nuclear deal with Iran just gives that nation and more humans on the planet access to that technology, as far as I've seen. I mean, what they do with it, who the fuck knows? Like, I don't know. It doesn't seem like anybody's ready to launch off nukes to me. I just feel like that's a game, like, flipping over the board scenario, and most of the humans on the planet don't really seem like they're up for it yet. There's a new show by one of my favorite podcasters, Jason Stapleton. It's a new Tesla show on the History Channel. Did you hear about that, Ryan?
No.
They're researching. So when Tesla died, he left behind something like 60 or 90 trunks of all paperwork on his inventions and stuff like that. And I think only a handful of them have been recovered and gone through. and it's unclear exactly what happened to the rest of the chunks of all his life's work. Like, he died in the Hotel New Yorker. Shortly after that, government agents came in, and this show, I think it's called, I'm not sure what it's called, something Tesla, but this show is hosted by a very well-known physicist and this guy, Jason Stapleton, who I listen to, who's a libertarian, and he's a former Marine Special Ops reconnaissance, currency trader, really cool guy. I highly recommend his podcast to people. But the show is following all the hard evidence of written down information through FOIA requests, trying to figure out where the Tesla files have gone. And then I guess along the way, they're testing certain Tesla theories and things. And one of the cool ones they tested in the first episode was wireless energy, which I've always thought should be a thing. Going back to like nuclear power and stuff, like there should totally be a way for us to, we could wirelessly transmit internet. And I think that we should be able to wirelessly transmit power, you know, either through the ground or through the air. And that was Tesla's main theory, which was never really proven to work on a massive scale. In the show, they do an experiment where they can power a remote control boat through the ground from a distance far away. So without direct power, they can run a current, and then that current can find its way in an area, and you can tap into it and use it to power like a little remote control boat, which I thought was really cool.
I used to have a blog when I was really young. I was like 18. And that was one of the first subjects I did was wireless power, because like we have a lot of the technology and it's coming up, and people are like, "You're stupid. That's dumb. It's never gonna happen." Well, guess what?
It was thought of.
The Tesla cars are, I think that they have like a thing where they're working on like this power wall, which is a bunch of like batteries, and then it'll charge your car wirelessly.
Yeah, induction charging, right?
Yeah, and then there's the fucking phones now have wireless charging.
Yeah.
I was talking about, like, one of the things I was talking about was like, how cool would it be if we, what we did was we put a bunch of like wireless chargers on the sides of roads, or built roads with these wireless chargers underneath inside of them.
Exactly.
Right? And then have these cars going on the road and charging, so that way you can get long distance out of these electric cars. That would be fucking cool.
Yeah, and like in New Jersey, you know, that's where I'm from. They had you know, Bell Labs and Edison Mines and stuff like that. And at Bell Labs, they have all these crazy like they invented some crazy stuff there. And I remember seeing these Tesla looking metal apparatuses out on the grounds of these giant office buildings and like research stations, and like just like the strangest, like obviously transmitting devices. And it always made me wonder, like, okay, you know, like Tesla was trying to do wireless energy. Like, I feel like that's not that big of a leap intellectually to try to think of that. Like, clearly there are other companies and or our government working on this type of stuff. Then you have DARPA up north messing with weather and things like that. Like, I'm sure that we could figure that stuff out. Like, and once, you know, once we do have that figured out, that changes the game tremendously for like economically, how we do things, like how everything's run. Like, that could really improve quality of life for everybody. And I think that Tesla's research and stuff, you know, a couple hundred years from now, will be the same as like what Newton's research is on physics for us when we went to space. You know what I mean? So like, I don't know. I think the show's going to be cool. And it doesn't seem like one of those history show channels that won't be fruitful. It seems like one of those things where I really want to know what the answer is. And I know the background of the two hosts here, Jason Stapleton and the physics guy, they're fucking serious guys and their reputations are on the line. So kind of just see where that will go. Hawaii is breaking apart into lava.
Yeah. Did you see that guy trying to like stop it with the force or whatever?
Yeah, no, I did not see that. What happened?
Yelling. He's like yelling about like, or he, hold on, I'll try and pull up a picture. Just keep talking about it.
Yeah, so Hawaii, Joe Rogan was hunting there, and he mentioned like, hey, the earthquakes were starting and we had to get the hell out of there. He was like hunting deer there. But the whole fucking thing is going off right now. That's what happens when you live on the Big Island in Hawaii. Like, the ground's opening up. There are some stunning photographs taken of like just lava eating roads and towns and stuff. And it's like,
yeah, okay. So what is that? Like, what is going on here?
Stop. Don't do it. Just stay.
I'm one with the Force. The Force is one with me.
Yeah. Supposedly, you know how you see like molten magma like flowing like a river? Supposedly, if you had like indestructible shoes, you could walk on it like an escalator almost.
Really?
It's like solid. Like you wouldn't necessarily sink into it.
Huh. Yeah,
I don't
but
know.
you would burn alive.
Oh yeah, you would immediately like you would most definitely melt into it. But if for whatever reason you are immune to the heat, like you could just
you were
walk on it.
Superman.
Right. Exactly.
Get on it, DC.
Yeah, I think like apparently so I didn't know this, but volcanoes are rated by what's called the VEI index, and this is actually a really big one in comparison to ones recently. There have been a few ones in Chile, and then you have like Mount St. Helens and a couple other big ones, but it's starting to get to the point where we haven't had like a Pompeii style one or a Mount St. Helens one in like quite some time. So I think that natural disasters are all about probability, and as things shift around and go more crazy, like the more likely they are, and the longer it goes without it, the more chance you have each day that they'll happen. There's an excellent documentary on Netflix called Into the Inferno by Werner Herzog, and he basically covers like all these different people who go active volcano hunting and try to get really close to the rim and film it and stuff. And I always wonder how like the lenses take it and things. The footage that these people get, and like you see how close they are to like erupting volcanoes. It is fucking insane.
Well, I mean, so the thing is with lenses is you can get pretty far away and have like a really nice focal length and get zoomed in, like, and it looks like you're right there.
Yeah, like the documentary opens up and he's like basically staring into the eye of this volcano, and it is like you can tell it's kind of a zoomed in shot, and it's so mesmerizing just watching the flow of it, like it's just bubbling up.
Check this out. Let's see if I'm pretty sure. Yeah. Okay. Hold on. I found this video. Let me see if I can get it to like show up and not be crap. Here we go. This video right here, look at this. This is a lens zooming in.
Okay.
Now it's crap because it's a GIF.
Yeah.
But like it actually like looks pretty
see.
good.
Yeah, I get. Okay,
Yeah,
so this is demonstrating the principle. You can see like texture on the moon.
Yeah.
And like clearly it's just a dot in the sky.
Yeah.
Damn, that's a good camera.
Yeah.
Shit.
And that's on like a Nikon Coolpix or something.
Right.
Like so I mean like you can get some pretty fucking...
I wonder, could you pull up the trailer for Into the Inferno?
Yeah, I could. Hold on.
I'd like to see what the trailer is, because this is a documentary that I watched a bunch of times, and I fucking just love it. It's really good. Werner Herzog...
This is a better video of, like... Look at that.
Holy shit.
Yeah. Look at how
it is fucking crazy how our eyes work, and like how we make little fake eyes out of glass.
Yep.
You know what I mean?
Like you don't even have to get that fucking close to these.
Well, think about the Hubble telescope. Like that fucking lens capturing just like the nuttiest shit in the universe that's just so far away, and we're gathering all that data with our little like liquid eyes on like behind this veil of an atmosphere on a little blue dot.
Yeah. Thank God for humanoid dissection. We were able to figure out how a fucking eye works.
Right? We got that shit down real quick.
Let's give this a shot.
All right. Oh, nice. This is perfect.
Sun dimmeth.
That's his voice. He's the best narrator ever.
Gusheth forth steam and gutting fire.
God, I love
volcanoes.
But that's definitely VFX.
Right? Legendary. He is legendary.
To take your eyes off the fire that burns deep under our feet.
This was a monstrous volcanic eruption, one of the largest in all of Earth history.
Obviously, there was a scientific side to our journey, but what we were really chasing...
With the way that lens compression works, you could even get a dude standing like 500 feet from the volcano and make it look kind of like he's really close.
It is a fire that wants to burst forth, and it could not care less about what we are doing up here.
This volcano will destroy this world.
I forgot how good trailers could be.
Yeah, that fucking Hollywood shit.
Yeah. That editing is just massively awesome. I thought that was super relevant to today's.
Netflix is great.
Oh, it's unreal. Unreal.
Videos?
Yeah.
Yeah.
They just did another new true crime doc, Evil Genius, dude. I think they just released it this week. It's about the craziest fucking bank heists. Like, literally crazy. Like, it's just awkward and like, what the fuck is going on here? Like, I definitely recommend that to people. Like, I like all of their true crime stuff. It's just like so on point and fun to watch. Man, I want to rewatch Into the Inferno now. It's so fucking good. And I think that I think volcanoes are indicative of what humans feel inside themselves, like raging fire underneath. And I would not be surprised if a volcano was the thing to take out a species rather than a meteor. You know, it seems a little more close to home. Oh, and then Netflix also came out with a new movie called Anon, and it plays. This movie was really cool. It was, what's the guy's name? Oh, something. I don't know. I forget. Anyway, it's called Anon. No, close. But it's about privacy. And it's about how everybody has something in their head that records everything that you do. And you can just play it back. And everything's wireless. And it's like into the future and things like that. And, you know, I was thinking about that recent news story with the NSA doubling its data collection. And I watched this movie, and it's so crazy how movies mimic reality like all the time, because it really brings into question the idea of like, how much of your life would you really want recorded? You know, like how much of it would you really want to have be permanent in the eyes of all the other humans that live from forever?